Mr. DJ Rose, Verkeezy, and C's. Welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap a seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell out now. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.
No More Black Tears podcast. We back in the building. We got Verteez and Mr. DJ Rose. You know what I'm saying? All happened in the week.
So this week in sports, we're going to start with the World Baseball Classic. You know, baseball season is upon us. They just finished the World Baseball Classic where we saw Venezuela defeat USA. Yo, I'm not even going to lie. The Baseball Classic, this is the most excitement I've seen, because they started it about 20 years ago. This is the most excitement I've seen around it I can ever remember. Like the DR, man, they had a game where they had like 6 homers and everyone was celebrating them. You know, when the USA made it to the semifinal to face the DR, and a lot of people, including my brothers, did not think we had a chance against the DR because DR got just as many MMA players we do. And then so we beat them. A lot of people was not really expecting us to lose to Venezuela, but I will say this, you know, I watched that last couple innings, and to see the pitcher on the mound put on the performance he did, especially in that 9th inning when they was only up by 1, to basically have 3 batters come up and 3 batters go out, I enjoyed watching how much it meant to Venezuela to win. And so many people who were covering it kept saying, from the DR to Mexico to Venezuela to Japan, a lot of the players said that winning the World Baseball Classic would mean more to them than the World Series. When it comes to all of these sports internationally, when we have the Olympics or the World Baseball Classic or the World Cup, that is the only thing America is missing at times, is how much it means to us to beat these other countries in the world compared to them. Because these other countries, they be coming, bro. They be coming. They be wanting it. And to me, that's always going to be the great equalizer when we have talent versus, I ain't going to say not talent, but known talent and unknown talent. Because Venezuela doesn't have as many MLB players as the USA do. But, yo, man, it's just so many people that want it. And one more thing, early on, USA faced one team from one of the islands. And there was like a 19-year-old boy that was striking out some about best. You know, like that's another beautiful thing about watching the Baseball Classic, is seeing some of the young talent from these other countries and how good they are compared to maybe our young talent in America.
Yeah, that was going to be the highlight of the Classic that I saw when Buddy struck out Judge, and he was a teenager. That teenager struck out Aaron Judge. That was my highlight of it. Like, yeah, I was like, oh yeah. And then Bryce Harper almost he brought us back, tied the game up, but then they ended up losing by 1 in the championship game. And then the guy, I think his name is Swarzer, he was mad. He was mad that he lost. He was pissed. They gave him that silver medal. He took it right back off. Like, man, I don't want this.
Remind you when Melo won the little bronze, that nigga said he threw that shit in the lake.
Oh wow. You know what I'm saying? He could have donated that to somebody.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But it was exciting, but it was exciting, but then it was like I'm watching preseason baseball too at the same time. And I'm like, oh yeah, the Braves are doing good. And I'm like, hold on now. None of the best players are playing in preseason?
Yeah. I thought the same thing. Like, it would have made more sense to delay the preseason until the American players could, well, not just American players, because all the players in the world play for the World Baseball Classic to finish first.
Yeah. So
because you wouldn't see that in basketball.
Yeah, so it's like, hold on now. Like, well, not I said preseason, but the same thing, spring games. But it's like none of the best players are playing. So I'm like, so all these wins don't mean nothing.
You got niggas who putting up numbers like, yeah, man, I could be doing this all the time. Then the real starters come back. I take your ass back to the bench, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was madness.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. When you picked me up, man, it was crazy because you play that Future song, March Madness. We've already started some of the madness this week. We've already had some upsets. We got predictions. So, Rose, just from the games that have played, what was the best game so far in your opinion? What was the craziest upset so far? You know, is there a play that you impressed with or disappointed in? And ultimately, who's going to be your Final Four?
Yeah, the High Point Wisconsin. That was I want to say the upset of the. That was a big upset, and then disappointing upset for me. What kind of wasn't that much of an upset because St. Louis was ranked number 9 and Georgia was number 8 in the tournament in their bracket, but St. Louis, man, they crumbled Georgia. You know what I'm saying? They beat them boys by almost 30 points. So it's like that one was big to me. I was like, dog. And then, you know what I'm saying, Utah State, same thing, 9 against 8. And of course, you know, say VCU beating North Carolina, but North Carolina's been hurt. So that was a major upset too for a lot of people in a lot of brackets. So, but I think those are the upsets so far. And the guy from High Point, this guy made the one that hit the winning shot. He hit 68 threes in the regular season, 0 2-pointers, and then won the game on a layup. You know, his first 2-pointer of the whole season. I'm like, so literally all you do is shoot threes? Like, wow. And that's some college basketball stuff right there.
Yeah, that is some college basketball shit. Duke winning, I'm happy for that because in most of my brackets, I got them going to the national championship. Even though the game was a lot closer at times and people who watched it said it should have been. VCU, I actually caught the end of that game against North Carolina. That was exciting to see them, you know, get the upset in that game. The play from BYU, a lot of people felt like if he could get his team to the Sweet 16, it would solidify him as the number 1 pick in the draft, even over Daryl Peterson from Kansas, because of how much it would take. He's not playing with the same level of talent as a lot of these other top picks, but even in that loss, he had 30 points and was it 10 assists and 10 rebounds? Like he had a double-double, a 30-point double-double. So I thought that was very impressive. I'm looking forward to the rest of these games to see what happened with a lot of these other players who's going to show out. I had Miami, Ohio doing something. Unfortunately, them bitch ass niggas got dumped like a motherfucker. I had to watch Georgia get embarrassed by St. Louis. That shit was disgusting. Another upset that I did not predict, and I'm mad I did not predict it because I kept looking at them and kept thinking to myself, Rose, I'm doing like 5 brackets. I probably should pick them for one. High Point beating Wisconsin. I just in my brain I could not wrap it. And you and me was saying on the way over here, that's the thing that's the hardest in March Madness is not necessarily predicting the Final Four. It's predicting the upsets that we're going to have along the way. You know, but my Final Four, man, Duke. I think Duke is going to win this side of the bracket. I think Houston is going to win this side of the bracket, and Houston probably got the biggest task because they got to beat Florida, who's the number 1 seed in that bracket. I'm going to go with Michigan. And then this is probably the most left out of field for me because of the fact, you know, a lot of people probably is not expecting them to do it, but I think they're going to beat Arizona. I'm going to go with Arkansas. I'm going to go with Calipari and them Arkansas boys, you know, to make it to the Final Four because they won the SEC conference and they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, so my Final Four, I'm going Duke, Arizona, UConn, and I want to say Florida. I'm not sure if all of them can make it or not, but I think those are my teams. I did so many brackets. I can't remember the brackets, but those are my 4 teams. I don't know if all 4 of those can make it to the Final Four, but those are my top 4 teams, though.
So before we move on, we're not going to go as deep because unfortunately women's basketball has not been as exciting this year as it was last year. But what's 1 or 2 teams for the women's March Madness you're looking forward to?
Yeah, it's only 2. You know what I'm saying? UConn's undefeated again.
I know. This is
so,
like, what, the 12th time?
So it's like UConn on the field. And the only team in the field that might have a chance is South Carolina and maybe UCLA. But last year they smacked UCLA.
Yeah, I remember that.
Even though all the teams are different, kind of sort of, with transfers and things like that, all the top 4 teams, because it's still the same top 4 teams. South Carolina, UCLA, UConn, and the 4th team is lost in my mind, but those are the top 3. And UConn has seniors on their squad. So it's not like that last year they was the redeemed team. Now this is we did it last year and we came to we come back to represent our crown. So I don't see nobody beating them. I got UConn going all the way undefeated. South Carolina, I think they got a chance to beat them, but I don't really think they really do have a chance to beat them.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm interested to see what Notre Dame do because they got a star player. They lost Olivia Miles, who went to TCU. I actually did pick TCU in a lot of my brackets to kind of do something because Olivia Miles was pretty good with Notre Dame. She transferred for reasons that people think she's part of that community. And I think she's averaging 19 points this year. So, those are like 2 of the outliers. But honestly, to your point, it's really South Carolina and UConn. And when I made my brackets, I was really disappointed, Rose, that they're going to have to meet in the Final Four. Mm-hmm. Like, I would have loved it if they would have. And I feel like the committee should have set it up where if we get that matchup, it had to be for the championship. Because we should not be getting that in the Final Four. Like, that probably should be the championship, to be honest. Like, you should have put UCLA maybe to match up against South Carolina or UConn in the Final Four, and probably the last team I'm just thinking about, Rose, and it's only because, Flo J's career is going to be over after this. LSU, it would just be interesting to see how far they can go, what kind of, tournament she can have, and how high of a draft pick she can be. Because I remember a couple years ago, people not thinking that she would even be a lottery pick. So I feel like she's done enough to me. I would pick a top 10 in the WNBA draft, and if she plays pretty well, I definitely feel like she should warrant the opportunity to be one of those top women selected. So speaking of women's basketball, the WNBA finally came to a CBA agreement where players are going to get more money. I want to say the threshold is going to be like 500,000. I want to say, Rose. I want to say now women are going to be able to make more than $1 million a year. The top players, they're getting the biggest slice of the revenue pie. I think this is great for the women. I think this is great. Like they wanted more money. Like I remember when the top players only made 150,000 a year. So to go from that to the minimum contracts are going to be like 400, 500,000, and the top players can make $1 million or $2 million a year. Plus, not to mention, women's basketball has become so popular. I don't want to count their pockets, but we know the endorsement money they're getting is crazy. Yeah. Like the top players are getting the shoe deals. Like Aja just came out with a shoe a couple months ago. Then Aja, I was on TikTok. She just dropped another motherfucking commercial, but I think maybe was it makeup or perfume or something. Like so, she got her line of product she's pushing. So she's making money. And we already know Angel Reese has her podcast and she has her different things that she's promoting. To be honest, I'm surprised that hoe ain't started a lingerie, thing yet. And then of course Caitlyn. So this is good for the women, man. And we was joking about, the stud busters, the stud buds, and it's just more money for some of them hoes that eat pussy just to pay for pussy now.
Yeah, so the salary cap went from $1 million to $7 million. So that's a big jump. You know what I'm saying? $6 million, they have more to spend. So that's great for them. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, man, like the stud bud said, man, they gonna be millionaires now. they can get in the club when they say we in the W. People know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to say we with Asia. Nah, we in the W. I make $1 million. He go $100 tip, man. Let me in the club. They can get in the club now, dressed up like dudes instead of having to have the titties out, man. Just shout out to the stud buds, man. Shout out to them.
All right, moving on to the last Week in Sports segment. So Jaylen Waddle, been one of the top receivers in the league for the last few years with the Miami Dolphins, got traded to the Denver Broncos for some draft picks. I thought this was a great move for the Broncos. Honestly, I think this is a great move for both teams because I'm just going to be real. I don't understand some of these sorry teams like a Cleveland Browns, like the Miami Dolphins, like the Vegas Raiders, like the Jets. Like some of these teams, you sorry, nigga. You so sorry, you sorry. And you hold on to these players that are literally in their late 20s or right at 30 as if you can compete. No, trade them and get what you can so you can rebuild that roster because unlike these other sports, Rose, draft picks are valuable in the NFL. Like in the NBA, you really have to have a lottery pick for that draft pick to mean something. In the NFL, bro, if you can get a first, second, third, fourth, even a fifth round pick, you can find a nice player and to put on your roster that's young and can contribute. So if you could turn in a Jaylen Waddle for a third round pick, a second round pick, even a fourth round pick, when you really was not gonna do nothing with him anyway, and you still gotta pay him, so you can trade him, get that contract off your books, and bring in younger talent. Why wouldn't you do that? Because most likely you drafted Jaylen Waddle between the second and fourth round. You probably didn't draft him in the first round. So like that's just showing you that you can find this talent. Now on the Broncos side of it, hey man, it's a game changer for them, man. Because Cortland Sutton, if you ask me, I think he's a number one receiver. I think he's a legit number one receiver. He's a big body threat. He's probably, if you want to be real, I don't watch the Broncos the last 2 years, because I be having Sutton on my fantasy teams or I be picking him for draft. I mean, for prize picks and shit, or just because the Broncos be on Sunday night, Monday Night Football. You cannot name 5 better red zone receivers than Cortland Sutton. Because once you get in the red zone, like it's something about that. And even Russell Wilson was there a couple years ago. There was a game on Monday Night Football where Russell threw the ball high and tight from like the 7-yard line, and Sutton just marched the nigga and snatched the ball in his hands. Like he's a really solid receiver. Even in the game against the Patriots, they lost. The one touchdown was because of Sutton, and that was basically a red zone touchdown. Now you add Jaylen Waddle, who's one of the fastest receivers in the league. He's a deep threat. He's a great route runner, great yards after the catch, and we've never heard nothing about him being a bad locker room guy. So he's going to be good in your locker room, and he's going to help them other receivers. So now you got Sutton at the 1, Waddle at the 2, and you can figure out how you want to do with Mims or Patrick Bryant, who's going to be in that slot, who's going to be that third guy. Hopefully, Evan Ingram, the tight end. He was good in Jacksonville. He had a disappointing year last year with Denver. Hopefully, he steps up. The only question now I have left, because to be honest, Bo Nix has answered the questions at quarterback. He could be a starting quarterback in this league, especially for a playoff team. The only question is who's going to be running back. Is it going to be J.K. Dobbins? Is it going to be R.J. Harvey? Is it going to be that dude McLaughlin who had a fumbling issue? To me, you drafted R.J. Harvey to be the guy. I need to see him take that next step because if he can rush for 1,200 yards this year, I'm afraid of that Denver Broncos team because their defense has always been the forefront the last couple of seasons. If that offense plays like it did last year, hey, man, watch out for the Broncos.
Yeah, I thought it was a good trade for both teams too, but I don't think it was a good trade for Malik Willis.
Oh, terrible trade for him.
Because it's like
he ain't go there for that shit.
So it's like I come here and now I have nobody to throw the ball to.
Man, that nigga looking at the Dolphins management. Is this the shit that you do?
So it's like they almost like they setting him up to fail so they can get a high draft pick and replace him, so he can be a bridge quarterback next year. It's like
Juice Man, you know what he would say? You ain't get paid.
Yeah, he got paid, but doggone, like I'm pretty sure he want to win too.
Yeah, hey man, I feel bad for him to your point because this is his one opportunity. Because he got drafted by Tennessee, was horrible there, didn't get opportunity. went to Green Bay, showed flashes. So he's thinking, yo, this is my opportunity to show the league I can be a starter quarterback, and this is the roster you're going to give him.
And so it's like it's going to be set up to fail. Like if he fails, I can't nobody hold it against him. But
the league will.
But they're going to.
Yes.
But they're going to.
The only good player on that offense that he has right now is Devin Achane.
Yes.
And we don't even know if he's going to be healthy.
So I feel really bad for him because like, dog, he really has nobody to throw the ball to now. And so this is going he could be like Dante Culpepper. Remember when Dante Culpepper instead of the Breeze going to Miami, and he went to the Saints, and then they ended up getting Dante Culpepper, and Dante Culpepper was trash down there. I hope that don't happen to you, Malik, man. But man, our hearts is out for you, man. We got cheers for you, man. But that's all I got.
Sure. Final thoughts?
Oh no, I ain't got none.
The only thing I have, man, is speaking on sports, man. Chuck Norris just passed away today, unfortunately. He was a martial artist.
That's impossible. I say he was in the hospital.
Yeah. He was hospitalized last night, and his family announced that he passed away today, which is just so crazy because to your point, I remember when I heard he passed away, I was like, I kind of felt like you were Candyman, like Chuck Norris can die.
Yeah, that's impossible.
I
don't even believe it
because all the memes of all the stuff with Chuck Norris is crazy. But I will always remember Chuck Norris being the Texas Walker Ranger because growing up with my grandma, that was her favorite, one of her favorite shows. Like she had a slew of them, but Texas Walker Ranger was one of her favorite shows. We used to watch it together, and she used to be like, "Yeah, that white boy could sure kick some ass." So rest in peace to the great Chuck Norris. Shout out to the Mamba.
Gotta. Mr. DJ Rose, Verkeezy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. For sure, MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell out now. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.